So last night we had a global Dokkan data download with a lot of stuff. This was the new app update 5.9.2 that JP got. This app update gave you guys such things like the Carnival coin exchange. I feel like it's the most prominent thing for global players right now. And in here there's other assets that are untranslated added into here. You know, well, tonight you guys are going to go on and sell EZAs. Actually, I think I'm going to make a playlist of that, or if not, just straight up more other showcases today. We'll see what happens. But Tech Bardic's coming out. You got like Yamcha in the files and stuff like that, right? So a lot of just extra stuff here that are in the files. But I think the most important thing we want to touch on in today's video specifically is the fact that standby skills are technically added into the game's files. Again, I do want to point out this doesn't necessarily confirm anything from the get-go, though a lot of us expect standby skills may be coming to the global version very early. However, this data download does have a lot of things that did appear during the anniversary itself, such as you see the 8th anniversary tickets, the actual red and blue stones right here. We see that there's also, what else is there? I mean, like, there's a snowman that are never going to appear in global, right? There's just some extra 8th anniversary things that are in here that aren't really going to be on global for a couple of months. So, gotta really keep that in mind. Even like some future chain battles and stuff. You know, Hachiyak is not going to be in global for months, right? So, this stuff in here doesn't necessarily mean anything. But again, scrolling down here through this thread, we are able to see a couple of things related to these standby skills. Just gonna take too long to scroll through, so we'll just go here. So we see the several assets labeled. This is the transform label. This is essentially the label where, you know, if you're looking at your character actually in game and the details along with the standby conditions, this is what you're able to see. Now, if you're unaware what a standby skill is, it's the new mechanic that the 7th anniversary, or I said 7th, but the 8th anniversary LR Dokkan Festival units gave. I think a really good example would be this unit, because this unit has both a standby skill and a finish skill. Those are the two new mechanics, right? If we take a look here, we see there's the revival skill and standby skill. Is the finish skill in here? I don't know if there's like the actual finish skill added. I'm pretty sure there was. I saw a post about it where the finish skill's also in the game, but I guess these are just all assets at this point. But essentially the standby skill is kind of like an exchange. It's pretty much just an exchange, but more so like a timed exchange. Think of how if you guys are in global, the actual physical 16, 17, and 18 unit, they're basically like a beta version of that. Essentially, when you use the standby skill, you switch to standby for 5 turns, and depending on, you know, what you're using, if you have like a finish skill, there could be a charge counter. If you're using a revival skill, just like the GT, Goku, and Vegeta, for instance, it's not gonna be anything else like where you charge something down, right? And essentially what happens is, like for this unit, for example, you just go to base Goku and Vegeta, while this unit you go into Super Saiyan and GT Vegeta. And essentially, I guess this does count as a finish stack, doesn't it? Okay. But in the standby skill, your biggest thing that you get from this is the finish attack. And you are able to build up to the finish attack depending on if you unlock the requirements. Now, for example, the most, like, we have 3 finish skills standby units in the game. It's these 2 units and then the free-to-play LR Babidi. Essentially, what this Babidi and this Goku does, very, very similarly, is they have a section in their passive where they get a lot of attack when performing a finished attack. Then for each key sphere all your characters gather, you are getting attack and building up this attack right here. So, for example, if you get 39 or more charges, which is key spheres that you grab, you can get 20% attack per charge counter accumulated. And then it has a new modifier as well, super ultimate damage. So ultimate damage is what we usually see in active skills, and even just right here in the number 1, this is the normal finish attack number 1. But the finish attack 2, which is the main attack you want to aim for, does do a higher damage multiplier. And this attack, these 2 attacks are actually the I would say I think this attack does actually hit harder than the GT dual attack, especially right now, because they can't really stack their attack in these shorter kind of content. But these two are the second and third hardest attacks in the game, second only to the Blue Kaioken Goku Spirit Bomb, which that one's just kind of stupid, right? This is a really dumb Spirit Bomb mechanic, but this right here does hit very, very, very hard. Now, again, since it is an exchange, these units do different things from what the original unit is. Now, the second type of finished attack would be this one that we see right here. Essentially, what happens is this is a revival. So, it counters against the opponent who KOs this character or ally attacking in the same turn. And this is the Super Ultra Spirit Bomb or the Universal Spirit Bomb that was shown during GT. And again, right here, Goku gets an additional 59% attack when performing a finished attack here. So those are the two different kind of finished skills, standby skills that we are able to see in game. Essentially, the standby skill links towards the finished skill, and once you get it off, you are able to basically, I feel like, pretty much win the game, right? So this is the Super Spirit Bomb standby skill, then this is the Revival skill. They can be popped up together at the same time. You don't have to wait for one to use the other. However, let's say if you're running double Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Vegeta, you can't use like both of these at the same time. You can't exchange the Vegeta twice, right? You'll have to use it with the first unit, then after you could exchange it to the second unit and then use it again, and so forth, right? So that's pretty much just a basic of how these standby skills work. Now, in terms of what we could see for the future of standby skills, a lot of people are anticipating Saiyan Day will obviously be same time, and we're thinking like it could be a Super Saiyan God Goku. And if that's the situation, you know, Super Saiyan God Goku with the standby skill could be interesting. Now, standby skills don't have to be just these two things. I believe it could be also like a transformation as well, where it's not an attack but a transformation, or even like an attack into a transformation, right? Could be really interesting. But let's say, I don't know, maybe the standby skill is them actually doing the Super Saiyan God ritual, and then you transform into God Goku after using and charging up the standby skill meter. That could be really interesting for sure. Or maybe it could be like a revive standby skill like this unit, where, you know, when Beerus throws his final attack at the end of the movie towards Goku, and Goku unlocks basically like the God powers again, or kind of shows up that he can still technically go Super Saiyan God when he was like pushing back against the blast with Beerus. That could be really interesting. That's like an animation we don't have in game, and would really fit like a revival type skill ability, right? So maybe that could be what the standby skill would be. Like you standby down into Super Saiyan Goku, and then after you use the revival skill, you go back into God Goku, right? I could easily see that happening in game, right? And it would fit with how like the standby skill kind of mechanic is working. I mean, that is guessing, you know, Saiyan Day is Battle of Gods, but I feel like a lot of us do agree it is Battle of Gods for the standby skill. But that's pretty much it for what the standby skills are. They're coming to global. I would assume we could likely get a unit on global that will have the standby or finish skill before the 8th anniversary. I mean, there's so many Dokkan Fests that they could fit in there. There should be like 2 Dokkan Fests that aren't even out on JP that should be on global before the 8th anniversary starts. Actually, technically 4 if we're gonna count the Golden Week units as well. So we'll see what happens there. Let me know what you guys think though, and of course I'll catch you in the next Dokkan battle video. Peace out.